Now I know, you know, we love our sweet tea, and we've got sweet personalities too, but there are some things that'll make you a little sour about the state of South Carolina. Hey there, I'm Lindsey Vance with Broker, and on today's episode, let's go over 5 pros and cons about living in South Carolina. Let's start with location and the variety of terrain. The beauty of South Carolina is truly unmatched. We've got places like beaches, mountains, countryside, lakes, and even the best small cities in the South. You can pretty much vacation anywhere in the state. The state of South Carolina is approximately 285 miles from east to west, and north to south it runs about 225 miles. The state has around 187 miles of coastline, meaning you have a ton of beaches to choose from, and there are even 45 state parks to explore as well. The location of South Carolina and its terrain favors a ton of outdoor activities, such as hiking, enjoying the beach, boating, and fishing. So let's go over some cons about the location and terrain of the state. It was really hard for me to find anything. However, it seems like we've got a great variety of cities, but we don't have any big metro areas. Places like Charlotte or Atlanta, we're not too far from those, however. If you want to live in South Carolina with access or ability to commute to those big metro areas, the best places to check out would be the northern part of the state near Charlotte, North Carolina, or even head south, southwest around Atlanta, Georgia, which is only about 2 hours away. Also, keep in mind that some locations throughout the state are popular vacation spots during different times of the year, so you may have to be patient with tourist traffic. I'm not talking traffic like you have to be in a busy metro city, but traffic from people who are not from the area and don't know where they're going. One of our biggest attractions is pretty obvious: the weather. People want to escape the cold and the snow and be able to enjoy their lifestyle all year round. Now, depending on where you are in the state, we actually have 4 seasons. If you find yourself a bit farther south in the state or along the coast, it'll definitely be warmer. Then in the upstate towards the mountains, it's a bit cooler. In the springtime, you can expect temperatures in the 70s and low 80s. Summer is around the 90s. Fall is in the 60s and 70s, and you can enjoy the winter temperatures at 50s and 60s. Now, all of those temperatures seem ideal, right? But we definitely have some cons about every season in South Carolina. The summer is hot and humid, no doubt about it, and it's sort of unbearable for about 2 months out of the year in July and August. Make your way near the coast for a refreshing beach day or head out on the lake to get on the water. Fall brings hurricane season for the coast. Luckily, our state knows how to plan for those types of natural disasters and has evacuation routes planned already. In the winter, you might even see snow in the upstate near Greenville and Spartanburg. This year, in 2022, they had a record of 8 inches, which is way above average. The spring season brings afternoon showers, which in some parts of the state could mean potential flooding. Spring also has a potential threat of tornadoes, depending where you are in the state, though they are nothing like tornadoes like you see or hear of in the Midwest. Ours only stay around F1 and F2, if at all. The cost of living in South Carolina is definitely not cheap by any means, but it's not outrageous either, like some other states that I know we can all easily name. One of the biggest pros about the cost of living in South Carolina is the low property taxes. South Carolina is actually among the top 10 states with the lowest property taxes in the country. There are a variety of additional property tax exemptions depending on how you own and how you occupy your property. Your age and even the amount of acreage you own may potentially lower your tax bill. There are special provisions on property taxes for homeowners who are 65 years of age or older and who've resided in the state for at least 1 year. This is known as a homestead exemption. Don't confuse this with homestead exemption as mentioned in other states, because each state it means something different. The homestead exemption in South Carolina means that the first $50,000 of fair market value on your home could be exempt from local property taxes. Another major pro about our state is the gas tax is almost 20% below the national average. So our cost of transportation is very low. So something has to even out that scale of paying taxes. We've got the low property taxes, low cost of living for retirement, and low cost of transportation. Well, we get hit with that on other taxes: sales tax, alcohol tax, income tax, you name it. Let's go over it. You'll definitely need to account for an extra cost of living because you'll get hit with personal property taxes on your vehicle, higher sales tax when you're shopping, alcohol tax, and higher cost for health care. We also have a state income tax on $15,000 or more. So once you exceed that, the state plans to take 7% of every extra dollar that you earn. This is a pretty high tax rate compared to other states. The sales tax can also sneak up on you, especially if you like to eat out and enjoy a few drinks. There's a 6% state sales tax plus additional 2%. So between the state sales tax and the potential of even 3% that local municipalities can tack on, you'll be faced with an average sales tax that approaches 8 to 12% depending on where you are and what you're doing. Now you've got such a huge variety of menus in South Carolina. I'm talking food. The South is well known for its great food and Southern hospitality. In this state, you're tying those two together because you've got some incredible barbecue, fresh seafood, peaches, grits, and all the Southern staples. If you find yourself eating in South Carolina, you're most likely having something fresh, locally sourced, and in season, whether it's seafood or some great local produce. Now, of course, eating seafood is a way of life in South Carolina. So places like Charleston is the ultimate destination for any foodie. Now don't forget about Greenville, South Carolina. It's growing with more than 110 restaurants just in the downtown area alone. Did I mention we really love our food in the South? Really though, we are not shy with our portions, our fried food options, and a little extra sugar in our sweet tea. It's almost enough to make your teeth hurt. So this may be hard to swallow, but the food in South Carolina definitely has a con. We have a ton of fried food options. Plus, throw in some extra butter and sugar, it makes for an unhealthy diet. We've got everything from fried chicken, hush puppies, fried green tomatoes, fried pickles, and pretty much any vegetable fried, and even deep fried Oreos. Now I know you've got that beach house on your bucket list or that mountain house getaway. One of my favorite things about South Carolina is the variety of real estate. So let's talk about real estate and some of the zoning you have to keep in mind, especially with all the history we have. So if you have a specific budget and you're looking for real estate in South Carolina, consider somewhere more inland, off the coast, to find something more affordable. Now, because our state has some incredible rich history, our real estate is super unique, from small cottages and historical estates to townhomes and condos to farms and land, neighborhoods and new construction. Here's your reminder that we're in the South. So of course, there are some cons about the real estate. Way back when, farmers could do really anything they wanted with their property. So now you might find a multi-million-dollar beautiful facility right next to a livestock farm or even a mobile home park. South Carolina is known to have the most mobile homes out of any other state. Also, because the state has so much history, depending on where you are, there are many properties protected by city restrictions or even on a historical register. For example, if you live in Charleston and plan to make renovations to a property, it could be likely that you have to propose plans to the city first. I've lived in South Carolina for 15 years, and I've lived in 3 other states before moving here. No state is absolutely perfect. Do I think South Carolina is a great place to live? Absolutely. But do I know that it's not for everyone? Of course. I want to know. Tell me in the comments, what questions do you have about the state? Or better yet, what other states are you comparing South Carolina to? I hope this video was helpful in weighing out the pros and cons of living in South Carolina. I'm Lindsey Vance and look forward to seeing you next time on Living in South Carolina.